What's going on, Bills Mafia? This is Gen 716 back here again, and today I want to talk to you guys about why I believe Brian Daboll should be out the door by the end of this season. So anyway, guys, let's hop straight into this thing because I can't wait to talk to you guys about it. So the biggest reason why I just think that he should go is because Brian Daboll does not know how to use his personnel. He just doesn't. The Buffalo Bills are a run first football. We are a run first team. That's exactly what we are. That's what the personnel around Josh Allen and around what Brian Daboll has. That is what we're facilitated to do. You look at Feliciano, you look at Quentin Spann, you look at Cody Ford coming out the draft. He was more of a run blocker than a pass blocker. You look at Mitchell Morse. He's known for it as he's known for being a run blocker. He's known for being just a very, very athletic guy that can get around players, that can get under people's shoulder pads and just overpower them. Mitch Morse is known as a run blocker, not really more as a pass blocker, right? Even Nasecki. Nasecki was a backup tackle with the Washington Redskins, but he was more as a physical run blocker than a pass blocker. And if you look at the Buffalo Bills, we're actually fifth in the league in rushing. Devin Singletary is averaging more than 5 yards. Is averaging more than 5 yards a pop. There's a reason why, because of that. Because we are a run first football team. That's exactly what we're predicated to be. What we're predicated to do. But in the early part of the season, we start to see Josh Allen where he's throwing the ball 35 times a game. And you can make an argument to say, well, you know what? We're not going to run the ball 40 times a game. And I agree with you with that. I think that there needs to be some type of balance when it comes to Josh Allen in the passing game and the run game. I agree with that. The problem is that Josh Allen, it's not working when he does it. Averaging 150, 200 yards a game is not helping the Buffalo Bills become the offense that we want it to be. Now, you could also blame the personnel, right? You look at the receiving personnel. We don't have a guy that's 6 feet tall. But I will also say this: when it comes to Josh Allen's mechanics, even though that we've seen some improvement from Josh Allen, really, how much improvement is it? Because in my opinion, it's little improvement. The same mistakes I'm seeing from his rookie year are the same mistakes that I'm seeing from his other year, from his second year. You can also say that, well, he's young. This is his second year in the league. Well, I look at Lamar Jackson, I look at Patrick Mahomes, I look at Deshaun Watson. I even looked at what Mitchell Trubisky did his second year. He took a big jump in his second year compared to his rookie year. But you look at some of the second year quarterbacks, even a guy like Kyler Murray, who was also known as this raw prospect. When he transferred to Oklahoma, and we saw what Lincoln Riley did to him, he comes into the Arizona Cardinals, and even the mechanics that I am seeing him throw the football with, and the velocity in his touches, it's better than Josh Allen. So really, how many excuses are we going to make for Josh Allen when it comes to him throwing the football? When it comes to him missing the necessary passes that we need? Again, I always keep saying this. The Buffalo Bills are a better team than what we give them credit for. Yes, the Buffalo Bills have 10 wins as far right now, but again, they are a better team than what they are. I believe that this could have been a 12-win team, or maybe a 13-win team. You look at the schedule. The Buffalo Bills, besides one game, was in it to the last second. But because of the lack of execution from the offensive side of the ball, whether you can blame the receivers, or whether, if it was most importantly, our quarterback Josh Allen, when it came to missing his throws, the short intermediate throws, when it most importantly came to missing the deep ball, which actually supposed to be a strength of Josh Allen. Yet you only hit 2 deep balls the entire season, which is the worst in the NFL. Now, I'm not going to put it all on Josh Allen, because at the end of the day, it has to fall to the offensive coordinator, and it has to fall to the offensive coaching staff when it comes to developing a quarterback. This is why I believe Brian Daboll should go for this reason. I don't think that he is the guy when it comes to developing our quarterback to what we expect him to be. I don't think that he's going to be that guy. Now, you can't say that. You can also look at the numbers of Josh Allen. Well, and again, you can look at it. 59% of his throws, 2,700 passing yards, one of the worst QBRs, one of the worst QBRs in the league, one of the worst quarterback ratings in the league. Yes, it's an improvement for his rookie season, but you take a look at the jump that Lamar Jackson has, or if you take a look at the jump of the second-year quarterbacks compared to their first years, Josh Allen, what he's done, even though, yes, he's done a phenomenal job when it came to clutch moments in the fourth quarter. He's shown that he is a leader of this football team. And again, I'm not hating on him. I'm just looking at the facts. Josh Allen has improved, but compared to what you did your rookie year, you have no choice but to. So for Brian Daboll, I'm going to give you guys my theory of why I don't think it's working. Number one, he does not know how to use his personnel. Number two, he's forcing a scheme that I think doesn't fit our quarterback. Now, Josh Allen can play. I don't think that it's necessarily going to bring the best out of Josh Allen, though. And if you look at the league, there's a lot of stubborn offensive coordinators that they believe that their scheme is going to help their team win championships or compete against some of the best teams in the league. There's a lot of stubborn offensive coordinators like that. But really, how many of these offensive coordinators are still in the league or are projected to get fired? A lot of them. You look at some of the best offensive coordinators in the league, like for instance, you look at Greg Roman. Now, Greg Roman's with the Buffalo Bills, but one thing he learned was that he needed to fit the scheme that fits their personnel. He needed a scheme that fits the personnel and brings out the best out of them. And that's exactly what he's doing. You see that, of course, Joe Flacco was there, and of course, Greg Roman, what did he do? Ran a pro-style system, tried to get the best system that fits his quarterback and the personnel surrounding him. But as soon as Lamar Jackson came in, what happened? Immediately switched to the Bobby Petrino spread offense and picked up the personnel that fitted Lamar Jackson and that can bring the best out of him. They're not forcing anything down Lamar Jackson's throat. They're trying to bring the best out of Lamar Jackson with the same system that he ran when he was in Louisville with Bobby Petrino. You look at Patrick Mahomes with Andy Reid. You look at Kyler Murray. And I think that Kyler Murray is eventually going to work. Now, people say that the air raid offense won't work. I beg to differ because right now in his rookie season, he's playing absolutely phenomenal. Even you look at a guy like Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones was perfect for the Giants, and he was perfect for the Giants because as far as him and as far as what scheme can fit Daniel Jones, that Giants scheme with Kyle Shurmur, it works. The pro-style system works for Daniel Jones. It's exactly what he ran when he was at Duke. The same concepts that he ran at Duke, Kyle Shurmur brought over to the New York Giants. Brian Daboll is stubborn. He's stubborn, man, when it comes to the concepts that he believes will work for Josh Allen. It's what he has. It's what he brought from Bama all the way over. It's what he's picked up from the New England Patriots. And he's trying to force that down Josh Allen's throat. Now, to give Josh Allen credit, he's starting to pick up those things. But is it necessarily going to bring the best out of Josh Allen? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I don't want a 60-60. I don't want a 59, 60, 61% thrower. That's barely going to throw for 200 yards. Now, yes, we're winning games, and that's really, really good and all. But at the end of the day, the league adjusts. This is not college. The league adjusts. And it's not like the offense is carrying the defense. It's the defense carrying the offense. And you saw with the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears are a perfect example of what happens when the league adjusts. The Chicago Bears was the same situation with Mitchell Trubisky, with Matt Nagy. The defense carried the offense. The offense was conservative. You can clearly see that Mitch Trubisky, he's taking a step, but you see that Mitch Trubisky is not performing to the highest of his potential. You can see that this offensive scheme is not bringing the best out of Mitch Trubisky. And you saw a year later, after they went 12-4 and had this elite defense, and they were always talked about, you see what their record is now. That's what happens when you don't adjust. And that's a fear. That's a fear that the Buffalo Bills are not going to adjust, at least offensively. No matter who you get at receiver, no matter what offensive lineman you pick up, no matter what running back you pick up, or whatever you're trying to surround Josh Allen to make him better, it's not going to work if the scheme doesn't bring the best out of our quarterback. And I think, and clearly, after watching the 14 games, it's not. It's pretty much been inconsistency. We've seen some ups, and there were some moments where I'm like, hey, maybe the scheme can actually fit. But it's been inconsistent. It's just been inconsistent. And for the 14 games that I've seen, for what I've seen, especially when it's Alabama, I'm a Bama fan, so I've watched every Bama game I've seen. He brought the worst out of Jalen Hurts. The scheme didn't even fit him, and it brought the worst out of him. And I am afraid that the same thing is going to happen to our quarterback. The misuse of our personnel and the misuse of our quarterback, I think, could be a downfall. And I think if Sean McDermott can realize that, to say, you know what, this is not the guy that's going to bring the best out of our quarterback. I think if he can let him go, it will benefit us. Bring in an offensive coordinator that can fit Josh Allen. Bring in a coordinator that can understand the personnel that he has and can use it the best out of his disposal. If we can do that and keep this and keep this same energy that we're having this year, the Buffalo Bills could be a scary team for years to come. But anyway, guys, that's all I got. That's just my thoughts. If you guys have your own opinions, why Brian Daboll should stay or maybe he should leave, would like to appreciate if you guys would comment that. Would definitely like to take a look at your answers or take a look at your responses, and we can definitely talk about it in the comment section. So anyway, guys, that's all I got. This is Gen 716. I'm out. Go Bills.